welcome to another episode of our podcast Bato Bato Mein, where we talk with Indians living in Krakow. And today's episode is about health and fitness and Indian. So definitely we're going to talk about yoga. Let's welcome our guest Shruti and Rohit. Welcome to our podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having us here.
Thank you. So let us know a little bit about your background. How did you come to Poland?
Okay, so I'm born and brought up in Lucknow, and then I studied, and in Bangalore we met together with each other, and that's when our journey for yoga started. And we were in the same company, which allowed us to move to Krakow easily, in the same company that we have here. And that's how we came to Krakow and started teaching yoga since the last 4 years. Yeah.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Okay, and how was your experience coming to Krakow?
Oh, it was not easy because we both wanted to come together, and our company had to give us jobs together to come here, and it was a long process. And because we say 4 or 5 years, so we came during COVID, so which was not the best time. Our visa process, everything took almost 1 year. So yeah, so the process was not easy, and when we came, it was difficult to adjust. It was COVID in October in Krakow. It doesn't look the best.
Did they also, I think they were giving maybe houses for 15 days and...
Yes, they were giving relocation or helping us with the housing, so that was good for us. And we had some Indian colleagues and also Polish colleagues who were helping us.
So were you in quarantine or not?
We had to be in quarantine, I think, for 7 days or 10 days was the rule back then. But I think the biggest challenge was both of us are really social people. And now, first of all, it's COVID and it's Poland. And shifting from during this period was, I think, one of the toughest things, because we really wanted to have some friends, some kind of community. And this was something, it was really tough finding where people are, where our vibe is.
Yeah, that's true. I think this is the biggest challenge for every foreigner. So finding people who can speak your own language, who can relate with your own, even though maybe artist way. So this is very important. So when you come to Poland, you face any specific issues, or it was very after that very fluent with languages and so on?
Yeah, in the starting, when we came, I believe then the amount of foreigners or Indians, especially in Krakow, was quite less. So in the starting, it was difficult to follow up things, and it was the first time that we had moved to a country with a totally different language. So in the starting, yes, finding houses, finding apartment for rent, making our way through everything, and then starting the yoga class, especially in a different country. It was a long process, and we took our time slowly by slowly, and it all went successful at the end. That's what we are happy for, but it was a long and a tedious process.
Yeah. So now it comes to yoga. So let us know how you started, and I think you also have a Polish students as well.
Yeah, it's quite an international community. And to be honest, yoga, of course, many people think because we are from India, yoga comes naturally. Of course, you hear yoga, and we've been practicing yoga even in India. But to be honest, again, given the current generation and given the current influence of lifestyle, to be honest, we also had our fair share of a very improper lifestyle in IT. We were eating late in the nights, and this kind of stress you get from the work, and then immediately after the work you just want to relax, and it's a lot of eating out, a lot of sedentary lifestyle. But then again, life teaches lessons in difficult ways, and at that time we had our first obstacle. We were hit with health issues, and Shruti, she had to go through a couple of health problems, and we were going through many hospitals, and we were trying different stuff. They were giving very strong medication, and then, as they say, the circle comes full, and that's how we discovered, actually based on some suggestions, that you should do meditation. And we were really, meditation and the kind of health problems were serious, and then it started. So we started first with meditation, and then we started exploring Ayurveda. Ayurveda is, for the people who don't know, it's a Indian-based medicine. It's called alternative medicine, but it's a medicine based very close to nature and natural compositions. So we had to go through Ayurvedic treatments, and then magic. Like, what we thought was impossible because it was months of struggle, where we couldn't like even go on dates properly because many things were happening. And then eventually that's how we started appreciating, and we decided that eventually we want to be absorbed into this and also share the word. I think Shruti can tell a bit about it, how many people she has forced to try meditation, like her parents and friends. It is because we really believe in it, and it has helped us a lot. And I think
and that lifestyle, when you have meditation and Ayurveda, so yoga is something, everything around us. So yeah, that's how we led into yoga. Like around 8-9 years ago, we started doing it very seriously because of our health issues, especially my health issues. And then he joined, and then at one time we decided to become teachers in this journey of the yoga.
So when we call about meditation, when we talk about meditation, normally what happens, it takes time. It's not like immediate solution, right? So with meditation, people say like it's all about breathing, like breathing in, breathing out. But nowadays people are so busy for every single thing. It's so hard for them to even though sit somewhere for even though 10-20 minutes for themselves and just do meditation. How you maybe guide your students regarding this, like how to do proper way of meditation?
Okay, for us, like recently, like if you have to consider what we have done, recently we had this meditation challenge for 14 days with all our students, where they were doing meditation for like 7 minutes, then 14 minutes, then 20 minutes every day. And we had a group and we were doing it also together. We had live meditation. So these are some of the practices we follow. Also in our yoga classes, it's just not yoga, it's yoga and meditation. So we focus on every yoga class that we have, like the time is dedicated only for meditation. And it is difficult for people. People say it is very difficult. The most difficult part of the session is yoga, which is, just 15 minutes. But for them, it's like a lot of time. So in our way, we try to help people, and especially like when we are going out, when people ask us to talk about yoga, it's just not about the asanas. It's also about your breath. It's also about meditation. So we try to keep it together, but just not losing it to something very physical. It is all mental and also inside us. So
yeah, I would just like to the emphasis on, because as she spoke about the challenge, like with any habit, be it you are learning guitar or maybe you are learning any new skill. The idea is to start simple and take small steps. So as she said, we started with 7 minutes. So 7 minutes, all it takes, just 7 minutes, and then we gradually increase the time. So once you get into that habit, okay, so today I did it, tomorrow I did it, and after 7 days, your mind will start wanting for it because it started to become a part of your routine. And now you started identifying with it. Okay, now my day is incomplete without that 7 minutes. So it just keeps going.
So what are the normal or maybe normal misconception you heard from Polish people or even the Indian people about yoga?
a lot, and I guess Rohit has gone through it, so he'll start.
I in fact did a presentation when I was invited to speak about yoga, and I was like, okay, everyone knows something about yoga, so I did a presentation about the myths of yoga, because this is something I faced personally, because thankfully many people here practice yoga. Like it is there. You speak to any person here from different nationalities, they're aware of yoga. But of course, there are some very big myths. The first biggest myth is everyone thinks yoga as a sport, as a physical activity, and they say, okay, I'm a swimmer, I go to gym, yoga is not for me. I do something else, I do heavy lifting, I play tennis. So yoga is not for me. When maybe I get an injury, then I will consider yoga. So this is, I would say, one of the myths. And here, I would say, yoga is like, we're talking about two different things. And yoga is about how you are having a connection with your body, your mind. We have in our yoga students people who are very good dancers. They do yoga and they become good dancers. So once you start practicing yoga, your breath and your body have a very good connection, and they will act according to your wish. And now once that happens, for example, if you go into swimming, you will become a better swimmer. If you are going to gym, no problem, you will just become a better person at gym. Your pain tolerance increases, your hand-eye coordination increases. So again, these two are not different things. You can still do yoga and do anything which you want, and do it in a much better way as well with yoga. So this, I would say, is a very big myth. And yeah, once I can speak about other myths too, but
please do. We wanted to know.
Sure. The another myth which I face is people ask me, which type of yoga do you teach? Do you teach aerial yoga? Do you teach Ashtanga yoga, Vinyasa yoga, Raj yoga, Shivananda yoga? The list is endless. And my this is something I was shocked when I got these questions, is because back in India, or back in the pure science of yoga, there are no different styles of yoga. Yoga is yoga.
Yeah.
Yoga, the meaning is a connection, a union between the mind and the body, the union between yourself and the outside universe. And how you do it is you can go through many paths. So it's like, because if people go to India and they learn from a specific teacher, so they go to Shivananda school, and now they say, we are, this yoga is only Shivananda yoga, this cannot be Iyengar yoga.
Yeah.
So someone goes and learns from a separate teacher and starts calling this yoga another yoga. It's like tomorrow you start saying, I do only Shruti and Rohit yoga. What type of yoga are you teaching? So yoga is yoga.
Yeah, I've been actually in one of the yoga class. I had in Just Gym we have here, and person teach their yoga, and he did some of the asanas, but it's very hard for person who start from the zero.
Yeah.
So what are your maybe advice for people who just starting for yoga, from where they should start?
Okay, so for us, like, our yoga classes are designed for people from beginners to advanced. So how the way we start the class is like, we all want to combine all of them so that they can feel that everyone is a part of the class, and then slowly as per the strength of the people, then we shift the yoga poses and how the asanas look like. And when it comes to advice, like, every beginner, I feel, or be it advanced people, they can join yoga. But I see some of the yoga schools, like you have mentioned, that they really go into the advanced poses. And for people who are like, for example, if you went there, the idea would be to try them, but not to try them so that you hurt yourself. And in that part, the teacher should be like very vigilant of your students. Like, it should be asking the students about how comfortable you are. And that's our first question whenever someone registers in our yoga classes, that how comfortable you are. And if you are not comfortable with the strong yoga poses, then we stand with you together to make you try it. If you're not able to do it, then it is okay. But we make you try it, and that's our way of doing it. So
yeah, we keep saying, listen to your body, because the idea is not to do everything in the one go. Your body grows into the pose. So as you practice it, even though it looks very advanced, like for the first time you see, okay, this is what I'm going to do, but your body is way more intelligent. But at the same time, you have to listen to it. Your mind should not overpower and either discourage you from trying it, and at the same time, no matter what, today I'm going to prove myself. So that also should not be the attitude. It is about, as you listen to the body gives you signals. This is the maximum I can take. So go till the maximum, and then stop yourself.
Yeah. So normally when I start doing yoga, I was feeling like I will do it, and I was forcing myself to do the pose that it's teaching me via, even though maybe TV. But I was thinking I will do it. But in the end, I injured myself, so I stopped doing yoga because of this.
This is something I would say. Yoga, though it looks a very peaceful, harmless thing, it is a very, I wouldn't call it dangerous, but it requires definitely expert guidance, because some of the poses, they look, this is how it looks like, I can get into it. But they affect the muscles so deep inside, and also sometimes some practices affect the mental levels also. So it has to be done under expert guidance. Of course, not the regular practices which you have already been aware of, you can practice it on your own. But if you're trying, for example, a new pose, it is better to take it under the guidance of some teacher. And this I would give also as a message through this podcast, that yoga, yes, it is a very harmless physical activity, but at the same time, it can inflict deep injuries if you are not doing it the right way.
So you need a guru or teacher to teach you properly.
In the initial phase, for that pose, once you get used to it.
Especially like as you said, for beginners, the biggest advice would be to start with someone. And like we also, like when it comes to people, some people with injuries come to a group class. So like for them, I would generally say people who are having injuries or some other issues, we always try to provide them like one-on-one classes so that it is focused on their injury, on their improvement of their body or muscles or strength or whatever kind of, it's like personal training, but here it's like personal yoga.
So in yoga, normally when we go to gym, we maybe grow muscles, right? Muscle mass. What yoga does to people?
The biggest thing is flexibility, movement of all the joints of your body. So basically, like you're building muscles here, maybe in the legs. But with yoga, it's your entire body is working. It's like if you do a full yoga session, be it with any yoga school or yoga technique, it's all your entire body is working at one point. And in fact, I don't know if you would have heard sun salutations, Surya Namaskars. In that, each part of your body is being moved left and right and both the sides. So it's like movement for your entire body and also the flexibility, which helps you with all of the things and all of the problems that we face in the world where we are more sitting right now.
So I think it's like a full body stretch.
Stretch.
And strength as well.
And because this is also kind of a myth where people say yoga is a stretching exercise, but here we are stretching. Yes, the poses are definitely looking like a stretch and they are indeed stretching the muscles, but we have to remember that we are using the breath while we are doing it. So it's like controlling of your body with the help of your breath. So of course, with flexibility and the stretching of different muscles, it adds, for example, your endurance, your strength to go through it. And for example, sun salutations, they increase your endurance, the stamina, and the breath. I know I keep coming back to the breath because the language, if you are flying a kite, the thread of the, how you control the kite is through the thread. And similarly, if you want to control your mind, no matter what you do, like read many books, go through many inspirational speeches, but if you want to influence your mind every moment, it is through your breath. And how can you get control of the breath is only when you're doing yoga with the help of a breath. And also we have some breathing practices. Pranayama. So as you do it, of course your body is getting beautiful, stronger, powerful, but at the same time your mind is becoming calmer and your, I would say, your capacity to take more pain increases. So your tolerance, your tolerance increases. So this will directly help you in other sports, be it swimming if you want to do many laps, anything, running.
So for example, like last time when I wanted to go to gym, for example, because I go regularly to gym, and then when I come back from gym, my heart was like pulping, like so fast, beating so fast, and at that time I was feeling maybe I need to do more exercise, but probably maybe I need to do meditation afterwards.
It can be many things. Maybe at the end of the session you were running or something. You did the stamina.
It took me like 30 minutes after I was feeling like this. So I was feeling like maybe I need to do maybe more practice and I have to like release this energy out. But maybe it was opposite way. So maybe I should do the meditation.
Yeah, meditation, and also there is a very because in that stage, forget about sitting, you will just collapse. So there is a pose, a Shavasana, where it is a collapsed pose. So we, in fact, in every session, we tell, no day is incomplete, no physical activity is incomplete without a lying down relaxation. So in Shavasana, it's not only you are meditating, but your body is completely shut down. And you have to, that is what your body is calling for. Let me just lie down like a dead body and relax.
Relax, When we talk about women, we have like different type of hormones and so on. But how yoga can help women generally?
In generally, when it comes to women, especially because you mentioned hormones, so I'll mention menstruation. When it comes to menstruation, the type of body, our body goes through a lot of change, like immense amount of change that time of the month. And when it comes to our movement, there is a special type of poses or asanas, to be very particular, that we can do during that time to release our hormones in the right direction, to channel our hormones in the right direction. And like for me, it has helped me in reducing the menstruating pain like over the years. It has been really helpful, and they are especially like, because during menstruation you're advised not to exert, not to go to gym. Even I don't recommend doing Surya Namaskar during the first 2 days, but there are some poses that if you've been doing like for the whole 20 days, and then your periods would be really, really calm and less painful. And that's what I have been trying to do, and I also tell all the students who come up with me with the problem of menstruation pain. Yes. And it's really helpful for them.
And even though I have like extreme level of pain, and maybe I would try this yoga poses that you are recommending.
Definitely.
So really is there any specific yoga poses, maybe people who cannot come to Poland and join your classes at home, they can try?
So we really recommend the butterfly pose, the one where we join our legs and flap our thighs within the butterfly, because it helps us to release all the energy in our lower abdomen area, and that's where the most of the pain is related to menstrual pain. And it releases when you're even doing it before and even doing during menstruation. It is the most helpful pose that I have come across. Like not even menstruation, even for pregnancy, like people who prepare for pregnancy also, it is a very important pose.
So thank you for sharing this.
Yeah, having said that, it depends obviously from person to person what level you're going through and how your hormones are.
Okay, and when we talk about yoga, is it yoga only for adults, or is there any age or different age groups they need to do different type of yoga, like such as kids?
Definitely, like when it comes to this kind of yoga, and we are also like thinking in that direction. Yoga for kids is very separate from yoga with adults, and also then there is a separate yoga stream for just for old people. And like when we were doing our teacher training, we were having some classes where we were just focusing on kids, because that is like more energetic yoga. You have to have the energy, need to release the energy in the kids to make them calm down so that they can do the breathing at the end of the day. And especially in the sense of the old people yoga, also very different. Like we have chair yoga, and we have poses that makes you stand on the wall and not exactly do all the twisted poses that old people above 65 or 70 cannot. So yeah, it's different according to your age group also.
Age group as well.
But and also there is because in that question I also see there is a growing, I would say, a trend, or in fact a nice trend, that people have recognized that yoga is helping both at a very early age and at the same time at a very old age in the different problems at the different age groups and what life gives you at that point of time, mentally and physically. Here we have to also remember the mental challenges as a kid, what you go through, and the mental challenges what an old person goes through. So family yoga is something which is right now, we are also getting a lot of requests, and we do have in our yoga class also sometimes students joining who are at a younger age. The reason is, if for example take family yoga, now it's a collective harmony. Now of course you can do many bonding activities as a family, and this is also one of the activities which is collectively you are de-stressing. Now home, as much as it is a comfort space, it is a pressure cooker. There is a lot of stress, lot of tension in the home, and once you do it collectively, all the three generations from the grandparents to the grandkids, it is one of, I would say, a very good practice to release the stress, understand each other, and be more in harmony.
So you guys guide this family yoga as well?
Yes.
Okay, so it's like they have to come to your place, or you guys
we cannot accommodate a family, and we usually and at the same time it depends on the family house, like
how
for
they
example,
prefer,
how people prefer. If for example it's a smaller family, we invite them to our place, but usually it's so that the kids feel comfortable in their space, so that is the time we prefer going to their space in your environment, and how we guide you throughout that.
Okay. So normally when we talk about any physical activity, diet is the most important part. So when we talk with yoga, what your maybe opinion on diet and yoga?
Okay, so when it comes to like diet, like our mind just directly goes to Ayurveda, and I would give the mic to Ayurveda practitioner here, so he can go ahead with the diet.
Yeah, because yeah, I'm also a certified nutritionist, and here I combine both the modern diet principles, but the primary principle is through Ayurveda. The reason is, if you look for any diet right now, even if you're Googling or even if you're finding some app, it is one size fits all. But my body type is very different from your body type, from Shruti's body type, and our Akshay's body type. So now, whatever we eat, it doesn't have to suit you. Of course, and that is the reason we have reached a stage where people are having allergies because, for example, there is milk. Now, everyone has to drink milk because there is protein, but we are forgetting that people have different body types, different allergies, same way with wheat. So, what we do, what we recommend are people who are reaching out as our clients is we give a diet chart which is very specific to their body type, where they are in the, I would say, in their journey, and tailored to that. And of course, to their goals as well. So, goal is one important thing, and at the same time, understanding yourself, how your body is reacting. So, Ayurvedic, the reason we also follow Ayurveda is because it is natural. So, you are not resorting to, something which is unorganic or not natural to yourself. Yeah, so and we really recommend, for example, going for very fresh foods, seasonal foods, local foods, not trying to import all the way from other part of the globe and having the fresh fruits from there. And frozen foods is a very commonly practiced culture in this part of the world. People, their freezer is full, and this is one of the shocking things we found here, that when we purchased a refrigerator, the size of the freezer was as much as the size of the fridge.
Yeah.
Right? And we're like, I don't need that. But then we realized that people need that space because we are mostly eating frozen processed foods.
Yeah.
So this is something we have to come away from.
Yeah.
And I would just leave one statement here. The food you eat, it becomes a part of you. If you're eating fresh food, the freshness is coming to you and it becomes a part of you. If you're eating dead, processed, whatever, and by the law of conservation of energy, that becomes a part of you. And so now all that energy, be it, of course, there are no nutrients, there is a lack of all the richness of a fresh food contains, but at the same time, at a very subtle level, your energy levels are with that processed food. So, yeah.
So this is so for example in Ayurveda, so this diet plan that you are saying, it's properly maybe vegetarian, not non-vegetarian.
That's a good question. So now Ayurveda, to be honest, like I don't know how deep we can go here. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. So Ayurveda, it of course the main thing is vegetarian. The primary constitution is vegetarian. But having said that, a lot of people have this misnomer that Indian food or Ayurvedic food has to be only vegetarian. So there is a clear distinction that this is the reason I mentioned your body type, the type of profession you are in. So back in those days, we had a social class called Kshatriyas or kings. Now this class has to be a protective class. These are the warrior class. Now for them, they need high energy. The blood has to be really boiling. The source of their energy comes from pitta, which is the fire. And for them, they cannot have that by eating vegetarian food. So for them in Ayurveda, it is prescribed that you can eat non-vegetarian as long as it is freshly killed. So that's why they used to go hunting, and within a periodic time, they did not never marinate it and keep it in the fridge forever, and they just got the fresh kill and they had it whatever food they used to prepare, and that is what was helping them in their profession. Now we have to look what our profession looks like, what my current lifestyle looks like. If it is a lifestyle which requires a political, if I'm in a political profession, a military general profession, and I need that extra energy, then yes, meat is for you. Go, I hunt in a legal hunting place and whatever is prescribed. But if your profession is nowhere like that, and even as a politician, you want to be a very composed politician, because we don't need kings right now. We need a very wise people. And for wise people, we need, look at the animals. Have you seen, for example, an elephant, how composed it is? And it's not like it's a weak animal, it is a very strong animal. Now, elephant is a completely vegetarian animal. So similarly, it's also a misnomer that you have to eat meat to have strength. Now look at elephant. Elephant is a classic example of strength without consuming. But of course, it eats on fresh grass, fresh vegetables, and things like this.
Yeah.
So,
and having said that, like I understand also the people here, because the vegetables and the fruits are not easily available in this side of the world, and that's how they have been also eating a lot of meat and freshly killing or even freezing the meat in their own way. So nowadays when we go to supermarkets, we also have the option of świeże, which is like the fresh one, and also the frozen one, which is like quite old one. So like trying to have whatever you are having. Obviously we can't go and hunt. I am not a hunter, neither you are, and we can maybe become someday like a professional hunter. But for now, trying to get the most fresh, like from farmers market, be it how fresh meat you can get. That's the main aim if you're eating meat.
yeah, trusted sources. Right now there are also labeling free-ranging chickens, things like this. So be very aware of what is going inside is only the message here. Even if you're eating meat or even if you're eating vegetables as such, be very aware. Go and check the labels, or in fact go to the source. Or the best thing is you grow yourself and try to do that.
Yeah, because in Poland is specifically the weather issue. Even though if you wanted to grow something, you can grow maybe 2-3 months and later there is no possibility. But when we talk about food, and there are very big nowadays agenda, I say, or even though there is a very big problem such as sugar. What is Ayurveda say about sugar?
Yes, so sugar, or as they call in Ayurveda the madhumeha or madhumeham, is first, of course, the lifestyle, and at the same time also the lack of the complex carbohydrates we used to have. Now the madhumeha in Ayurveda, it is a very classic example of how do I put it, like kapha, which is like excessive non-movement. You are just consuming. And consumption is not only in the physical food, even in the mental food. So all the information you are taking, all the excessive eating is just resulting in the non-movement, and this is a problem. And what Ayurveda again suggests is to go for freshness, and also at the same time try to physically activate yourself. So a madhumeha is basically the deposition of fat, or this the free sugars again containing to fat, because they don't know what to do. You are not physically exercising. For a person who is suffering from sugar, now this excessive sugar is again converting into fat, and it is getting deposited in many areas. So once you start doing exercise, once you start doing physical activity, and also monitoring your diet, going for complex sugar. Now sugar is not a bad thing. We work on sugar. Our energy comes from glucose and the carbohydrates. It is just opting for more complex ones, going for high fiber. For example, people in Poland, we have different types of kasha bulgur, kasha manna, kasha, I don't know if I'm saying it wrong, kasha yagelnitsa, something like that. So we have different types of grains, so included in your daily routine. Even if you're eating roti, chapati, try to go with a whole wheat flour. Here in Poland, thankfully, we have the type mentioned on the packet. So anything about type 800 or type 1000 is a very dense wheat flour, which will help in diabetes. But if you go for type 0, which is like the pizza, God save you. So these are some of the things which you can keep in mind.
Yeah, and also like Poland has also a wide variety of honeys, like when it comes to like actually consuming sugar, like, and if you are not someone who can stop sugar like immediately, like I have not seen such a variety of honey like anywhere, like even in India, such the fresh honey that even you can find in the supermarkets here in Poland is like amazing, like, and since we have that, then why not use it, like, trying to first replace the sugar, the white processed sugar, with honey, or like either jaggery in India, like how we have jaggery in India, or gur, by that. And then if you want to reduce it or cut it, that is the end goal, to cut the sugars, obviously. But when you have to replace it, then like the variety of honey and the freshness they have here, it's amazing.
But when we come to sugar, it's mostly people take more sugar because of craving. How Ayurveda helps with that?
Yes. So As you see, you brought a very important point because unlike many other diseases, Madhumeha or diabetes is a product of the mind. It is the mind which is unable to control, and it is desiring, craving, and not able to control. Okay, it's not that people don't want to exercise, it is just the mind overpowers them, and they're like, I feel lazy. Why don't I chill? Why don't I watch something on Netflix? So it is.
Social media is like right now
Social
taking
media.
over for everything.
Exactly. So I would say, of course, Ayurveda has many remedies, and there is also Panchakarma treatment. There are different, I would say, specific treatments which will address, for example, whatever we are talking right now on Ayurveda are proactive remedies. Now, for people who are in, for example, very advanced stage, like type 1 or type 2, for them there are specific treatments also in Ayurveda, in Panchakarma, which they can avail when they go to, for example, in India, and also Sri Lanka has these treatments which they can go through. But at the same time, as we do that, we have to realize that the problem is in the mind. Now, that is where yoga and meditation helps you in small decision making, everyday decision making. What should I eat for lunch? What should I eat for the dinner? Okay, I finished my lunch and I'm craving for chocolate. I'm craving for something sweet. Now pay attention to your mind. Pay attention to your body. Do you actually need it, or is it just something your tongue is craving for? So once you become calmer, your mind becomes more pleasant. Now you will start realizing that your body doesn't need it. It is just your mind which is playing games. So I will not listen to it and see how it goes. So
Yeah, but this is the main and very hard part to control.
Yeah.
In the end of the day.
It is very easily said, but it is definitely not
Very
easily,
hard. I think definitely they need someone to teach them daily basis, and they need like a continuous coaching. For
Yeah, that is true. And just to add on the perspective of like the excessive sugar cravings that we have as a part of our stress, and how he mentioned the fresh things. So even eating a fresh apple that you grow in Poland here everywhere is like will satisfy your sugar cravings for that time. Be it banana, I know banana is not grown here, but like a fresh banana, orange, these are quite sweet fruits that will fulfill your sugar cravings if you're looking for something like that.
Yeah, but with me, if we talk about maybe sugar, and when I like to eat and I replace with fruits, the problem is that then I don't eat one banana, so I eat 3, 4 bananas because it's so sweet, and your mind doesn't stop. And this is like such a, I don't know, it's like a very bad thing in human body.
I would say you're still in a better place eating 3
Yeah,
bananas
than
than
eating a
one
full
cheesecake.
cake.
Cheesecake. But at the same time, the solution is simple. The solution is get your body and mind in your control. Get, today, right now is the time. Don't wait for a better time. Maybe if I get a disease, or if I am diagnosed with something, or maybe after 5 years when I'm hitting 35 or 40, that is when I will focus. No, start early, start right now. Once you get a control, it's okay. Even if you're eating cheesecake, eat it consciously, eat with awareness that is it actually, listen to how your body feels, not only your tongue. Of course, your tongue loves everything which is tangy, gooey, things like this. But as it goes in, as it enters your body, how do you feel? How does your body feel? Not how do you, but how does your body is reacting? And after that, like once your digestion is complete, how is the post digestion? Are you feeling energetic, or are you feeling more lethargic than you first started eating? Because what is the goal of eating? Eating is to give us energy to be functional. Now, if after eating you become lethargic, like which usually happens if you eat a good biryani or a cheesecake, you become more lethargic. So that means there is something with that food which is not fulfilling its goal. So you can cut down. We never say shut down, because you will start
Craving more.
rebelling
that
against
is
it. Cut down. Once you cut down, you will automatically realize that is not your thing.
Yeah.
And also the sense of community. I'm sorry for being elongated here, but
No problem.
also the sense of community. It's widely said, we are the average of the 3 or 4 people we hang out with. If, for example, if I'm hanging out with friends who regularly party, drink, eat junk, even if you are very health focused, you automatically pick up some of the habits from there. So join a community which is more health focused. It's okay. Like even if you're not Of course, initially you might feel, okay, I'm not as perfect as these people. It will stick to you. The practices will stick to you. So.
Yeah. So normally when like our genes, Indian genes we talk about, we have such genes that we accumulate a lot of fat around our belly.
Yeah.
True.
How yoga help with this?
I will say in this part, and then Shruti can take over, is you brought out a very good point here. Indians have predominantly, for example, South India has a kapha body type, which is more watery and earthy body type, compared to, for example, the North India. But more or less, India has a kapha and a mix of vata. But for example, European body types is extremely vata. So there is a lot of air inside them, and that's why we see Europeans traveling everywhere. And the type of food also suits that particular body type. So if we try to, for example, imitate each other, of course it can help in shorter term, but it can also do harm. For example, we drink coconut water because coconut water cools us. There is a lot of fire. They drink alcohol, but in limited quantity, not during the parties, because for them the cold is the major problem. For us, heat is the major problem. So if we try to imitate the either thing, it becomes a big problem because our body cannot accept. That's why you see that these people are capable of drinking much more alcohol than us. It is impossible, and it's stupid to even compete because your body can take this body type cannot take.
And as I say, like he was just mentioning, it's just to how be a Roman in Rome, you know. You have to, you are here, you're not in India, so you have, I'm not saying start drinking alcohol, but I mean having more soups, having more things that will, you know, especially when it comes to winters. And obviously when you talk about the fat that is here accumulated in your stomach, it is the most dangerous fat that is there. And unfortunately, a lot of diseases that are coming nowadays, especially in India, it is because of this visceral fat that we have accumulated. And it all comes down to our lifestyle, you know, how active you are, how you're sitting. Are you sitting 8 hours a day and just on your laptop, or you're taking every 10 minutes doing something, or just lying down on the mat, and then after your work you're going out for a bike or a yoga or whatever sport you are. So it's how active you are in your lifestyle that will reduce it. And you know, the community here, I feel, has made us more active. Since we have come, it has helped a lot. Like, because when we were in Bangalore, we were in a different community of only IT people, and we don't have a very active lifestyle there. We had yoga, obviously, but here you have infinite opportunities. There is a running club, there is a bike club, climbing, swimming, like boxing, like I don't know, you name a sport and they have it, and people do it here, you know. And very easy to find people who do it, and they're very motivating. So it's all about the movement, whatever you like it, be it swimming or be it just walking.
So when we talk about yoga and plus weight, so does actually yoga help to lose weight?
Yes.
Definitely, like when it comes to yoga and following a proper type of yoga, if your aim is to reduce the weight, obviously you will be doing the yoga, general yoga asanas at everyone, but you will be also focusing on the weight. For example, you mentioned the visceral fat. There are multiple poses that are there for reducing the visceral fat around our stomach, for reducing the fat in our arms, you know, for toning our legs. So there are poses which are focused on different parts of the body.
Can
also.
you give us a little bit advice which poses are good for visceral fat that person can do it at home?
Exactly. So the thing is, here we have, this is the engine of our car, of the body we have. So this is where we have the solar chakra, and this has to be burning. It has to be in a good shape. So here you need to light up the fire. So of course, along with your right diet and a conscious diet, all the yoga poses which are focused on your stomach. It could be Chaturanga Dandasana, or on your all eights, and at the same time you have the Naukasana, and in the Naukasana, which is a boat pose, you have different variations of Naukasana. Like, I think this is, Naukasana has one of the hundreds of varieties of variations you can do in the boat pose, which will really activate. And sun salutations, the Surya Namaskara itself, it focuses on all the parts of the body, starting from the head to the toes, and it also lights up the fire. Surya Namaskara is like sun within you. So you're lighting up the sun, the fire inside you, which is again the stomach. So you can increase the number of, the counts. You're doing Surya Namaskara, you can start with 5, you can go to 10 counts, you can keep increasing to 108 counts as well. So which will be really helpful in toning down the stomach, cutting down the weight. And as she said, it's not only here, it's in the overall body, but it has to emanate from here. So you can search for yoga poses for solar chakra, for the,
for the stomach.
Manipura.
Okay. So is there any, because you guys are teaching yoga for so long, so let us know a little bit about your people, give you testimonies about like how you guys changed their life. Is there something that you wanted to share?
Yeah, definitely. Like, and I guess we got some testimonies for today also.
Yeah. So what we are, I would say, very happy and very glad is the sense of community we have here. And as we say, as you said, we are teachers, but we are also learning from each other. And we had testimonies, people mentioning how much it made them feel relaxed, how their strength has increased, which was surprising to them because they did not expect yoga to increase their strength so much. And you will also not believe that there are instances where people were struggling to leave some of the addictions. They wanted to quit a cigarette, they wanted to quit alcohol, and now yoga was helping them first to be conscious of their habits, and also, as I mentioned, because they are a part of this community which is more health conscious, it automatically helped them reduce it, because the more time they're spending and the more such conversations, and again, definitely on their health, their strength and the flexibility, and some of them are also speaking about how, for example, some of the illnesses have reduced the intensity of that. But at the same time, as much as it's helping them and the sense of community, it is also giving back to the planet. So there are people coming up with initiatives to help out different marginalized groups, and we are very happy because we are learning from them, and it in fact inspires us again. So this is all I would say. We give the credit to yoga.
So in Ayurveda, when we talk about Ayurveda, normally nowadays people are drinking from these plastic bottles and so on. What Ayurveda say about that?
No, you're touching a very
sensitive topic. It is, He's trying to throw all the plastic in the house,
Yeah, I'm acting like a bit of a maniac at home, but I don't regret it, because the reason is, if you look at all the indigenous tribes who were, all the indigenous civilizations who were living closer to the nature, we were using what we took from the nature and what goes back into the nature, and nothing was actually harming the nature in this process of consumption. It was coming, it was giving us energy, and it was taking. Now, of course, over a period of different civilizations and the human greed overall, and which led to capitalism and all this, we are having as many disposable stuff as we can see. So, of course, it is harming the planet, but you have to understand that whatever you're throwing outside, it is coming back to you through your food, through the water you drink. So anything you are giving in is coming back. So be very conscious, and at the same time, in the sense of Ayurveda, whatever consumes you becomes a part of you. Now, if for example, as simple as drinking from a plastic water bottle, which I know it's right now very contentious. Of course, you can have a plastic water bottle, but over years, the plastic leaches into the water. I see that many people use kettles made of plastic. Now, a hot water, of course, plastic is heat resistant, but at what temperature? Yeah. At some point, the plastic leaches. Now, it becomes a part of you. Now, what is water inside your body? It is your blood, right? So it becomes a part of your blood. And now once you start a new generation, right, your kids are getting it. So it will not stop. So it is like COVID, to be honest, it is like a virus. So I'm just asking, don't be paranoid or anxious, that will not help. Yeah. But at the same time, be conscious. So be conscious of the things which you're consuming, be conscious of the clothes you're wearing, where you're buying from, what type of items you're using. Try to limit yourself, declutter your wardrobe, declutter your home, and you will see, once things declutter outside, you get decluttered, you become calmer.
So which metal do you recommend to maybe drink water from? Is there any specific metal?
Yeah, we can use a variety of them. There is brass, there is bronze, there is copper. Of course, sometimes with copper you have to be a bit careful because there was an issue with copper poisoning because the plating was not done nicely when they do it at scale. So these are some of the metals which are, I would say, more or less non-resistant. Yeah.
Yeah, and like adding on to that, like if you are not unable to avoid, getting the bottles.
Steel.
Yeah, steel also.
Yeah.
Getting things that will stay with you for longer time, you're getting those kind of just thinking that you're trying to get something that will stay on with you for years, not because a plastic bottle, after if you by mistake add some hot water, burning water in your plastic bottle that you carry to office or somewhere, you will see the problems that you will be facing. So keeping something with you that will be going on for years is that you can focus on. As well.
So I agree with that because normally I try to replace plastic bottle with the maybe glass bottle.
Yeah,
glass is also a
glass
very
is
good
a
option.
Yeah, because for me it was like very convenient and I can use it like longer time.
Yeah.
But yes, with glass there is a problem that you are afraid to break it.
It is heavy.
Yeah, it's heavy as well.
Yeah.
It's confusing. Person wants to reach out to you, maybe have this family yoga and the normal classes that they want to join, how they can reach out to you?
So definitely, like obviously, like all our students are like our biggest, I would say, advertisers in Krakow. But we have a website that we have where you can just reach out to us directly, be it for our group classes, personal, family, or even we do corporate yoga also. And we also work in cooperation with Multicultural Center, so you can ask the head of Multicultural Center and she will give you our name. So, but mostly our website is there where you just go and find us. We also publicize on Facebook our events in Krakow expats also. So if you're a part of Krakow expats, then you can go and do that.
So is there any specific name for your
it is
company?
VedaYoga Center. The name of the yoga center is VedaYoga Center. And I will just say, don't wait for the right moment. The best time to practice yoga is right now. Of course, if you haven't eaten. So just start on the journey and you will be surprised how much powerful your body is, and you will start discovering a lot about yourself in this journey. So good luck to whoever wants to try practicing with us, and even without us, just under the guidance of any guru you trust, start on the journey of yoga. So.
Perfect. Thank you guys for joining us. It was pleasure talking with you. I really want to talk. I have so many questions to ask, but I think time doesn't allow us. So definitely we're going to have a second episode with you guys. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for the brilliant questions, and it helped us open up and share our views with the community, so why not?
Yeah, and then mainly the awareness.
Yes,
thank
that's
you so
very
much.
important.
Namaste.
So thank you everyone for joining us today, and stay tuned for more episodes like this. Have a nice day with Kaur and Akshay. Bye.